Okay, so like I said, I was going to make videos with deeper explanations for you guys on what to do for all of your assignments. So as you can see, I'm at the homepage of our intro class. It tells you your 6 weeks to-dos. And I said that I was going to post a video of Exploration 3 assignment later this week, which I'm doing now. So check box for me. Good job on my part. If you look above all of that, it tells you what you can do for your grade. So hopefully the rest of you showed up today and did your Wednesday presentations for your Exploration 2 assignments / Exploration 1 if you missed it. Again, if you had school conflicts or any issues with that, just communicate with me and we will schedule you a time to do your presentation or schedule a time to make up your presentation due to your excused absences. So again, don't forget you have to see A Doll's House Part 2. So get your tickets. The link is in an older announcement. So literally right here. If you scroll down, ticket information for your first play response assignment. The links are right there. You just click it, you get your tickets, you do all that jazz. And then the information for your play response assignment is in a separate discussion with a video just like this one. So you should be taken care of information wise. And again, in that discussion board with the link to that video that I made for you. If there's any further questions that you have after watching that video, just post on the discussion board. Other students might have the same question as you, and I will look at that. Or you can email me for questions for that assignment as well. But today we're focusing on Exploration Assignment 3. And so if you jump into your activities or your content tab, you can go to Exploration 3. So I'm going to go to Exploration Assignments and we're going to go to Exploration 3. I think it's right at the bottom. Yep, Exploration 3. So as it says, reimagine the costume assignment. So chapter 3, one of the things it covers is costume design. So what you're going to do, like it says, is choose one character or person from a play, a TV show, a movie, a book, society. It can be a famous person. It can be a historical figure. It can be anyone that you like. Again, pick someone that you like, that you're interested in, because that will make the assignment more fun and easier for you, and it'll make it enjoyable for us to watch you present. So once you've chosen that person, again, it can be from any play, book, TV show, movie. It can be a political figure, a famous person, anyone you want. Just pick someone you like, and then you're going to research that person. And then you're going to choose a different decade or century that they do not or have not lived or existed in. So say we wanted to do Robert Downey Jr., but in the 1920s. So what I would do is I would research Robert Downey Jr. What are his morals, his thoughts, his style, what kind of a person is he? And I would get to know him as best as I can by researching him. And then I'm going to choose a different decade or century. So the 1920s, and then I'm going to research the 1920s. What are some styles of clothing that Robert Downey Jr. would wear if he were in the 1920s? Like, since he likes to wear all of those band t-shirts. He's very edgy and stuff. Would he be more of like a mobster, edgy mobster? Or would he be, just a really cool guy? Just think about the fashion of the time of the century or the decade that you choose. And then think about how those people would relate to the person that you choose in the current century. Or you can pick someone from the past and put them in the future. Say if you wanted to take Anne Frank and put her in today's society, or you wanted to do Martin Luther King and put him in today's society, or if you wanted to do a futuristic person. So if you wanted to take like Kanye and put him in 2055, that's fine too. Anybody that's famous, anybody that's relevant in the book. If you want to take Zendaya, if you want to take Shakespeare and put him in modern day, you could do that. If you wanted to take a past, president and put them in, today's society, how would, Abraham Lincoln look like as the president of today's society? How would, George Washington look as the president of today's society? Things like that. You're taking a you're taking a person that you like, that you have interest in, researching that person and putting them in a different decade and also researching that decade and making appropriate choices as to why they would wear what they would wear in the new decade, based on the research you've done of that person. Hopefully all of that makes sense. So I want you to do that and then choose at least one color palette for the character, because you're researching these costumes. You're gonna make a slideshow that tells me about the person that you chose, a little bit about them, and then a little bit about the decade that you chose. And then you're going to put pictures of different clothing that that person would wear. It might not necessarily be the color that you think they would wear, but that's okay. I just need to see visual styles of the clothing that you think they would wear. And then that's when the color palette comes into play. So if it is not the color you want, choose at least one color palette for the character and explain why you chose that color based on who they are. So like sometimes in movies and TV and film and plays, they put, villains in dark, moody colors like reds and blacks and browns, and they put heroic figures in blues or greens, because it reflects different moods and tones. And so you guys should do the research and do the same thing based on the person and the decade that you choose. So you should find those images in that color palette, and have the slides based on the person that you choose, and you're creating that slideshow and walking us through that. You can use realistic pictures that are straight up pictures of the clothing that you like. You can also use textures to explain your presentation as well. If I come over here and we do exploration 3, let me find it real quick. Here we go. Yes, you can use texture. So like if you looked at the slideshow for this week for exploration 3, people use different mood boards and colors. So these are color palettes, these are drawings. This board has different textures. So this is why you're doing what you're doing for this costume design assignment. So like over here, there's colors and textures of these plants and this light texture to reflect what the designer is wanting to portray. The curves, the lines, the texture. You don't have to use realistic pictures of your costumes to translate what you want your costume to look like. One of my students last semester did Glinda the Good Witch reimagined from Wizard of Oz. And so they wanted her dress to have a specific bubbly texture. And so she found a picture of a texture that she would want the dress to look like, and she included that in her presentation. That is another way for you to articulate the vision of your costume. So whatever images you can research your person and research your decade, and then find images that accurately describe what you're trying to reflect in the costume for that character based on who they are. But yeah, it's really straightforward, really easy. You guys should have at least 3 slides minimum for your presentation. You should have a slide telling me about your person and who they are and everything, and then tell me a slide about your decade. And then you should have a slide showing me pictures of the new costume. It would be good to use as many pictures and written text as you can. That's an accurate way for me to grade it. So don't just put pictures on the screen. Don't just put words on the screen. Do a mixture of both. If you have a picture on the slide, you need to be explaining why that picture is on there. If you have words on the slide, you need to have a picture explaining the words that you're putting on the slide, because you need to visually articulate that design to the people that you're going to be presenting to. So I hope that makes sense for you guys, and that I've answered all the questions for this assignment. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Again, you can find that assignment in your assignments tab. You just scroll down, exploration 3 assignment, you submit it. No one has submitted yet because it's not due yet. But that is okay. I'm trying to get this stuff to you guys early so that you are fully prepared for everything that you need to do. But again, I'm posting this video in the discussion board. I'm posting it in the announcements telling you it's in the discussion board. After watching this video, if you have more questions, you can either email me or post in the discussion board and let me answer that question, because other students might have that question as well. But I hope you guys are doing great. I've had my baby. We're both healthy. We're settling in great. Mark is doing a fantastic job showing up and making sure that you guys are doing your presentations. Please make sure you show up to those. They are worth half your grade. Please don't make me put 15 points out of 30 points in the grade book just because you didn't show up to show us your awesome work. Mark is showing up to class to hear you guys present and to grade you guys for me. And so please show up and do that so you can get your credit. Because if you guys don't show up at the beginning of class and Mark has waited for 15 minutes and no one shows up, he's free to go home. So don't expect to show up 30 minutes late into class and to get to present because people are going to be gone. So show up on time, do your presentation, and get your credit. Please, time manage, take care of all the things you need to. I'm always here. If you have questions, Mark is always here as well. But again, don't take advantage of Mark or me. Manage your time, show up to class on time for your presentations. You are getting a little bit of a break because I'm on maternity leave. So you only have to show up for those presentations. So make sure you show up to them. Again, showing up late and showing up 20 minutes into class, thinking you're going to present is not always conducive, because if people didn't show up on time, Mark's going to be free to go. Like I said, so please show up and do your work so you can get the credit, so you can pass the class. It's an easy class to pass, but it's also a very easy class to fail if you don't do the work, because again, I can't give you a grade for work that's not done. So just make sure you get it done and take care of your business. I wish you all the best. If you have questions, email me or post in the discussion board or reach out to Mark. Either of those are valid options, but I hope you're all doing great and you have a fantastic day, and I'll keep you guys updated as the semester goes on.